What's the difference between Medicare and Medicaid? And will Medicare pay for a nursing home?
A lot of folks are not real familiar with the difference between Medicare and Medicaid. So Medicare is uh, the health insurance program, if you will, for most people in retirement. So that's part of the bargain that government made with us, that we're going to pay in throughout our productive years. We're going to pay a little bit of everything that we make into the system. And then in retirement, Medicare is supposed to cover our health expenses, cover our health care. Unfortunately, when Medicare was put in place, the average man didn't even live to age 65. Um, and so the need for long-term care wasn't so much on the radar when Medicare was put in place. Now that we're living longer, uh, there's a new reality that wasn't in place when Medicare was put in place. And as a result, um, uh, whether Medicare is going to cover the cost of my health care in my retirement depends largely on what happens with me, what sort of illness befalls me. If I need a quadruple bypass in retirement, I'm covered with Medicare. But if I develop Parkinson's or dementia or need long-term care, Medicare is not going to cover me. Um, in Texas, about 2/3 of people in nursing homes are on Medicaid. The vast majority of those people did not start out on Medicaid. Most of them had some savings. They went into the nursing home. Once that savings was exhausted, then they qualified for Medicaid. And if they owned a house, that house became subject to Medicaid estate recovery through the state program. Um, so Medicare does not pay for long-term care. They will pay up to, for most folks, they'll pay for the first 20 days, and then for a portion of the next 80 days after that. Nobody has a guarantee that Medicare will pay for any of those first 100 days. It largely depends on the circumstances under which you go in. But Medicare doesn't pay anything for long-term care after 100 days. And so the fallback is either you have long-term care insurance that picks that up, which by the time most people are thinking about the need for that sort of coverage, it's either it's not cost effective or they can't get through underwriting to be able to afford long-term care insurance. And so they're either going to get qualified for Medicaid to pay for it, or they're going to spend their private they're going to private pay and spend down their savings to pay for it, or potentially get qualified for veterans benefits to pay for it, and or a family member is going to pay for it. Those are the main payers, but the difference between Medicaid and Medicare are significant, and it has a big impact on folks on the elder care journey.